So wait, explain to me how the matte works. What's the benefit to that versus doing like blue screen, green screen?
Blue screen or green screen, you're shooting with a person.
Okay.
For blue screen, it'd be like picking something. If you do a blue screen or a green screen, you're basically making a high-con. You're making a matte that's black and white.
Yeah.
You don't always see it.
Because I remember in Star Wars, all the ships, they would shoot it on blue screen.
What's Star Wars?
On Star Wars, they would shoot all the ships on blue screen.
Yeah.
And they would kind of like just twirl it around,
Right.
like kind of like the models you made.
Well, you won't use black for a model because you want to keep the shadows.
Yeah.
And black would include the shadows of the model, and then you'd have holes in your matte. So that's why they did blue screen. Like the ship would hopefully not have blue in it.
Yeah, but then the ship had blue tone, like a hue over it, because the light spill.
Well, yeah, you want to separate.
So you can see
You
it in
wanna
the movie.
separate
with, like,
the light.
Every ship had like a little bit of a blue hue, or
Yeah,
they
that's
turned
a bummer.
they turned on the saturation completely.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, yeah, that's a bummer. If you have blue spill or green spill, there are tools to despill. And you despill along the edge, you pick a blue edge, and you put a little bit of...
This type of matte would not have worked because they have black on the design of the ship. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Like if you're shooting someone who is like all white, then you can put them on a black screen. If you're shooting someone who's all black, you can put them on a white screen. I mean, you just want a high contrast.
The contrast is what cuts them out.
But the blue contrast and the green, like, it just depending if it's day, if it's night, and how it like affects the skin tones can be an issue. And so there are different decisions. But then I've seen some of this Marvel behind the scenes stuff where like Nebula's all blue and she's over a blue screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, someone's
Why?
rotoing the heck out of that.
Why would they do that?
Because it's blue is what they had on that day. And they're like, it's got to say it. Blue works for most people. Doesn't work for the blue person.
What about like Dune? So Dune, they didn't even do green or blue. They didn't even
did
do
they
that.
do like a
They
desert
did a
color?
beige.
Yeah, that's
background.
awesome. And then rotoed it probably. Did
Yeah,
they roto
oh
it?
my God.
Yeah. But that way,
But the rotor would
that
be
way
easy.
you don't get any of the light. You know.
Rotor would be easy because they're in the desert technically. So if there's any spill,
Well, no, the lighting was going to match. Yeah, you're not going to have spill issues with that. But the roto is about how intricate you're doing your outlines. Like I could do a quick roto of you, or I could spend a lot of time getting each of these little hairs and each of these little hairs just right, or I could skip it. It just depends on what it is. Now,
That has to be the
working
worst
at
job.
Sony was all about every little hair, every little pixel, oh man. We spent so much time getting stuff just right to capture everything. So there's what is it? There's accuracy and there's efficiency. Like those are the two main goals, accuracy and efficiency. Now in a kid's show, accuracy, efficiency, yeah. That's the way to go, baby.
cheaper. There's a scene from Thor.
Oh, the end sequence? It's terrible. The hair is awful.
Ragnarok. Oh, yeah.
Can I say that?
There's a scene where Thor's sister catches his hammer and then breaks it.
Oh, yeah.
They originally shot that in an alley.
An alley in New York.
And then they figured that they had to retool it. They couldn't
Right.
reshoot it,
Right.
so they rotoscoped
Yeah.
her hair,
Yeah.
frame by frame. His hair, frame by
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah, but you know what you do? You fill in that hair with like a flat color or like a sort of a hair color. You can do that too. So you don't need to use the original footage. So my guess would, and I've done plenty of that. And I gave a class at Sony about that, about like getting good hair edge and how for like the final edge, if you have like the background coming in a little bit, especially if it's New York City or in an alley, you have a bunch of different shapes and colors and lights behind them. You'd make those mattes and then you fill it with a color that sort of matches his hair.
Oh.
So that's a way around. Like, I don't know what they did. I'm just good. Like, that's what I'd do if that were my job. But I was thinking Thor 2. The end of Thor 2, Thor's hair looks terrible in the throne room. But that scene, I remember seeing that scene in the theater. Like, I dug that movie. I thought that was a lot of fun. The Ragnarok was a lot of fun. But that scene, I could see something was off.
Yeah.
I'm like, this wasn't here.
That stood out to me too.
I'm like, this wasn't here. This is weird. Why?
You can clearly see the two side
And
by
it's like,
side.
why are they doing this? Like, why? And then I saw that. I'm like, oh, no, I get it. Like, okay, it made sense.
They
You did the
completely
best you
changed
could.
the story.
All right, job. Yeah.